Hey guys, how's it going? In today's video, I'm going to be going through the breakdown of the BroodHold strike, which is going to be the next week's GrandMaster Nightfall. I'm basically just going to give my thoughts about where I'm going to be going, um, like strategies for it. One of the very first thing that you can also do here is, if you really want to time this out perfectly, when you start out with supers, you can look over on this map of this destination. Right in the Tangle Shore, you can kind of look here, and if you see that there's a flag here, then you're gonna launch the Grandmaster Nightfall, and you know that you can get the flag, and you guys can all have your supers right at the beginning. So boom, if you really feel like you need to start out with supers, there you go. That might also help because there's an ogre right at the beginning. That's that's probably gonna be a strong ogre now, right? Because it is 1050, so that might be something that you want to go after. So here we are. We are in the strike. More than likely, you are going to want to keep a little distance from that ogre. I would say, personally, if there's ads on the right and ads on the left, you might want to take out the ads on the right because there's not too many ads here. This wizard might be a pain. Who knows? But I would say go through this side because the left side might have captains or knights or other things there. Now from there, you can kind of see here that you'll have an angle where you can take out these enemies. Team shot. Also, there's going to be shoulder shields, so a Drang would be a really good selection to have. If you have mountaintops, whatever you have for range, maybe a Xenophage on the team, you're going to want to use that on the ads here. Once you kill the ogre, it's kind of like getting the strike. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go over where the champions are going to be, and basically what you can expect in each situation. Now let me move over a Drang because I will be using this Drang. There's going to be a lot of solar shields with the wizard. And there's going to be, I believe, one arc shield, which is a knight. But yes, first room, you get in. What you want to do is you're going to have an NC barrier here, right next to these guys. Also, Fallen do hit really hard. So the smart thing to do is to use this corner objective here, right? Because you're going to have two unstoppable ogres across. But you want to focus on this barrier here first. So if you use this angle here, you can kind of cover yourself. You can take them out. And then once that's done, you can work on the small ads. And I wouldn't say go to the right side. I would say come back to the left side here where you have cover and work on the ogre that's on the left side. Stop him. If you're using Anarchy, you're using Mountaintop, whatever you're using for damage, you take him out. And once you take him out, then you can go in Viz, or you can just kind of jump back over and take cover here again. And that's when you're going to work on the next ogre. So the first room, you're going to have an anti-barrier at the beginning right there. You're going to have two unstoppable ogres right here that you have to go through. Once that's done, you kind of pace yourself, you get rid of these ads, and you move a bit more forward. Now, after you kill these thralls here, let's say that you guys spend a lot of heavy or whatever you wanted back there. Hive armaments is going to be a nice thing to have in this Nightfall, ladies and gentlemen. Hive armaments, hive barrier. If you do not have the hive mods yet, make sure that you jump into a menagerie, right? Make sure you jump into a menagerie and you get these mods, all right? Armaments, barrier are going to be awesome. Invig and repurposing, you don't need as much, but armaments and barrier, you want to make sure you have. Why? You are going to be taking less damage. Another cool thing that I want to say is if you go through the bottom tunnel, there are going to be cursed thralls down there as well. What I like to do is I like to go through the top, this area right here. So when you go through, there might be a cursor throw that drops here. And once you kill him, you don't have to worry about the ones at the bottom. You could go around. Now, there's going to be a group of thralls that come through, coming from this side. You could throw grenades right here, kill that group of thralls that are coming at you. And once you kill those thralls, you're going to have an anti-barrier champion here. So it was just going to be you and the anti-barrier champion, and yes, you're just skipping, a minor thing. Now, the next part is going to be a little bit tricky. Also, step away from the door when you, when you turn that in. You're gonna have thralls coming at you. And one important thing that most folks should be paying attention to is what your priorities are going to be in this room here. Priority in this room is to make sure that you get rid of the snipers on your right side. So I would say if you could jump up here and kind of take this corner here, there's going to be 2 vandals right here that you want to take out. You do not want to leave those guys alive because they will be a pain in your ass. Once you take them out, you can get rid of these guys down here, the fallen. Another cool thing is that you're gonna have this crate here. So if you shoot that crate, it blows up. Those guys might die. After that, I would say tackle the left side. You're going to have an anti-barrier champion here, which is gonna be a knight. You can use basically all of this as cover because he will be spamming, right? You can tackle him as a group, okay? Once he goes down, you're going to have another back here. Once all these guys are down, there's going to be a group of thralls going against an anti-barrier servitor in this area here. I would say just focus on the thralls if you have to, but if you can get up here and have cover where thralls can't get you, you can work on that anti-barrier servitor from this angle. All right. Then we have the next room, and this next room is going to be really tricky, but here's going to be my pattern for this room. In this room here, there's going to be an unstoppable ogre that comes up from this side, and that is who I will be going after first. When you come into this room, you're going to stop that ogre, and you're going to use this cover to take out the ogre first. Once you take out the ogre, that is one of the big elephants in the room. You take him out, then you can come up here. You will have 2 wizards and an anti-barrier knight up here. I would say have someone, especially if they run the drink, take out the wizards for you. Right? There should be one there and then one here. Once you take out the 2 wizards, that's when you can work on this guy here. Now, if you are kind of scared or you're like, man, I don't know if this knight's going to kill me right away, you can use this area that I'm going to right here, right? You do damage. You know, he puts up his anti-barrier shield, and then you take him out. Once you take him out, you pick up the worm, and I would say as a team, go after this position here. You're going to slam in here. Now, when that happens, there are going to be enemies that come out. I wouldn't say don't worry about it as much because there's going to be a bunch of thralls. A bunch of cursed thralls. You get rid of the cursed thralls, and instead of going into this room right away, you want to work on the other knight that's going to be here. All right, as a team, you can take out this knight. Just make sure that you guys are on the same page. Once this knight is dead, you can pick up that ball then and slam it here. All right. Now, this room here, how do you go about it? I think if you have one person on this side, just kind of working on the small lads, keeping that attention there, 2 people can come to this side, take out the anti-barrier that's going to be here. Once you kill this knight, that's when you can go after the next anti-barrier, which is going to be this guy. And if you do it as a team, it's going to be pretty simple. You know, you pick up the ball, and the last one is going to be the center. Now, what happens here is when you slam it, there's going to be another knight that shows up in center. He's going to be an anti-barrier knight. Just make sure that you put a shot in on this knight. As long as you put a shot in on the knight, and the boss comes up, that knight is going to die, and it's going to give you the points, especially if you're going for platinum. All right? And here, place 2 anarchies and just let it sizzle. Get in cover. If the wizard does the purple floor thing or does this right here, all you need to do is be behind cover. All right? Cover is going to be your best friend. And another reason why I love anarchy for this is because you can place it and kind of just, take cover, right? You let it do its damage, especially if you have 2 of them. That's going to be pretty smooth. Next room, kind of like the same thing. There's going to be an unstoppable ogre that's going to be at the beginning. The ogre won't move until you guys kind of proceed in with action, right? Until you start shooting things. I would say, you know, if you need ammo, you got to throw right there. You got to throw right there. Kind of work on those guys first, right? So let's say I'm only at 5 and I need ammo. I'm gonna do this. Boom. I made some ammo off that throw. What then that sets off is that unstoppable ogre pushing you guys. But you can use this whole angle as cover, right? You can get rid of these enemies or these thralls coming at you, right? And then once the ogre gets closer, because there's a streaker back there, once the ogre gets closer, you stop him and you finish him off. And then you can work on, then you can work on the streaker. All right. Another cool thing to kind of have here is going to be arc resistance and concussive dampener. Arc resistance, why? Because the knights are going to be spamming a lot of arc weapons, and you also want 1 solar resistance. I mean, that's going to save you from being a one-shot or not. Now, there's going to be a wanted in this area. He's going to have arc shield. I say leave the wanted alone. Just leave him alone. If you can get rid of the acolytes, sure, do it. But what I like to do here is you basically have to do your best to take out that streaker, right? Once you take out the streaker, there's a bunch of thralls coming. You kill the thralls, and instead of worrying about the knight that's on the top right, go for the guy on top left. And here's where a hunter kind of comes into play. If you have a hunter on your team that can do that for you, you guys can go invis, and you guys can basically take the left side here, jump up, and kind of work on this guy. He is going to be anti-barrier, right? Once you take him out, then you can use this platform to shoot the guys across, then jump over, or maybe even use cover. You can even use cover. You can jump around, come here, and work on this guy, right? You can use all of this as your cover to kind of damage that guy out. Now, the next part is going to be the boss is going to show up again, right here. What you can do is you can stick the boss. For me, what I will be doing is I'm going to stick the boss, and I'm going to be doing this path right here. I'm gonna jump across. And why am I jumping across? I want to be ahead of the curve. I'm gonna come right here. I am going to hide, and I know that there's gonna be unstoppable ogre here and an unstoppable ogre there. Sometimes both show up here, and sometimes they both show up across. But what am I doing here? I'm basically giving the ogres 2 different line of sights, so they don't just gang up on my teammates. Because now, if I stop them and I place 2 anarchies, I know that I will be killing at least 1 or 2 of them. All right? And once you get that down, sometimes the 3rd ogre does pop out of the ground, so you have to pay attention to that. But besides that, it's time to just go down into the boss's room. And when you drop down here, there's going to be a knight that comes out of that door, and there's going to be a few acolytes with him. I would say focus on acolytes real quick. Take cover, do what you have to do. This guy's going to be anti-barrier. You work on him as a team. And boom, there goes the ball. Now, this spot right here is a really good spot. Why is it a really good spot? When the boss throws the purple thing on the ground, it does not affect you even if it's around you. And you can kind of do this cover here, right? There's a few different spaces in this room that you can do that with, like where I'm standing here as well. So cover is going to be a nice thing here, but as long as you place anarchy on the boss and you take kind of cover, you're going to be fine. This boss here does not have that much health. Here's what happens in this fight. Boss shows up, you get it to 2/3, the shadows show up, you get it to 1/3, and then they both split up. So here, you place 2 anarchy, and you can hide behind here, and you won't take damage. Now you see that she's at 2/3, and now the shadow's coming out. You don't have to worry about any extra ads in this room. So you could do the same thing here. Now, what I mean by this is, you see how the shadow normally does the ground? Where I'm standing, I don't take damage, right? But you also have to pay attention to that because she could push you. It does not, you don't take damage from it, but she could push you. And here is where you go for the kill. You place anarchies, you wait, and then you go with your supers. I'm not going to be using Blade Barrage. I'm going to be using Bottom Tree Tether, but you kill them both at the same time. If you kill both at the same time, no ads will come out. And here's the thing. If you kill the shadow first, there's going to be a knight that shows up. A champion knight. If you kill the original, there's going to be an unstoppable ogre that comes out. So just kind of pay attention to that. The whole goal is to kill both of them together. If you kill both of them together, that's going to be the thing. And that's basically my breakdown for the strike, right? Armaments. If you really want your super at the beginning, pay attention to the area, right? Maybe you want to go for, you know, maybe you want to get full ammo and get your super so you can kind of push it a little bit further. So look at the Tangle Short. So you know that, hey, you know, when we land, we're going to have a flag right here, right? So it's not more for ammo because GrandMaster gives you full ammo. It's more like, oh, maybe we can use our supers right away to kind of break things down. Now, you guys are going to ask me what supers are going to be freaking awesome for this. Honestly, any super is going to be really good. I like Bottom Tree Tether. You can use Golden Gun if you like. For Warlocks, you have Wells. You can run Chaos Reach. You can run Nova Bomb. For Titans, you have Hammers. You can even run Middle Tree Sentinel here. You know, block, get your super back, work on that as well. But I feel like BroodHold is not going to be as crazy as people make it sound. So I just wanted to make a video to kind of break that down. And once again, thank you guys for watching. I do appreciate it. Thank you guys for passing by every day and saying hello in the stream. You guys are awesome for that. And I'll see you in the next video, man. Thank you once again.